You know the feeling. You're busy all day, running from tab to tab, message to message, and somehow the stuff that actually matters never moves. You fall into bed exhausted, swipe through a few more notifications, and think, how is life still this hard when I'm working this much? Here's the twist most people never see. An easier life doesn't come from doing less, it comes from doing differently. Directing your efforts so well that your day finally lines up with your priorities. Not perfection, not a 5-hour morning routine with yak butter tea, just aligned effort. Starting today. Let's begin with a mental reset I call effortless intentionality. Effortless doesn't mean zero effort. It means less friction because your energy isn't fighting itself. Think of two people with the same job, same commute, same family obligations. One crawls through the day, depleted and on edge. The other finishes steady, satisfied, and ready for tomorrow. The difference isn't luck or a secret gene. It's where their energy goes. One person spends all day in reactive mode, leaking attention into 100 micro decisions. The other spends most of the same energy, but it's organized. It's lined up behind a few things that truly matter. Easy isn't the absence of effort. Easy is aligned effort. So, let's align it. First principle, micro simplicity. Our brains are dramatic about big, vague tasks. Write the proposal, get in shape, fix the house. That's like asking your nervous system to eat an entire pizza in one bite. You choke, then call yourself lazy. You're not lazy, you're overloading the circuit. The antidote is embarrassingly small actions. Turn clean the kitchen into load the top rack, wipe the counter by the sink, sweep the floor by the fridge. And if you still stall out, make it even smaller. Rinse mugs. People fight this because it seems silly, but tiny steps are how you outsmart your lizard brain. Each little completion releases momentum. That momentum is the bridge from stuck to moving. Try this right now with something you're avoiding. Open a note and write the smallest physical motion your body can take in the next 60 seconds. Not the whole task, the next motion. Open the dock. Create slide 1. Put the shoes by the door. Do it. Then write the next tiny motion. Keep going until momentum takes over. You will not think your way into action. You will act your way into better thinking. Shrink the step until your resistance has nothing left to push against. Second principle, decision energy budgeting. Every decision costs fuel. What to wear, what to eat, which email to answer first, which app to open while you wait in line. They all take tiny sips of your mental battery. By lunchtime, you're running your most important work on 5%. That's why you find yourself reaching for sugar, caffeine, or yet another scroll session. The fix isn't have more willpower. The fix is to spend your decision energy where it pays off and automate the rest. Set up your defaults. Build a simple meal rotation so breakfast is a non-decision. Create a capsule wardrobe so outfits just happen. Use a morning startup ritual that's the same every weekday. Open your task manager, scan your top 3 priorities, set a 25-minute timer, and begin. Auto-pay the bills, schedule grocery delivery for the same time each week. If a choice repeats, don't keep paying for it with fresh willpower. Turn it into a system once, then let the system pay you back every single day. Third principle, present tense living. Anxiety is a storyteller that lives in the future. It writes scary scripts that almost never happen, then charges you full price up front. Meanwhile, the only place you can act is right here. So make this the habit. When your mind spins, ask, what is the actual problem in the room with me right now? If the answer is, I need to outline the deck, outline the deck. Don't bargain with an imaginary audience. Don't crowdsource your confidence from 5 colleagues. Outline the deck. If you drift, which you will, bring yourself back kindly. Right now, I'm writing the opening. You aren't pushing the ocean, you're steering the boat that's actually under you. Related to that is the fourth principle, anti-perfectionism practice. Perfectionism feels noble, but most of the time it's fear dressed in a tuxedo. It says we can't start until we're sure we won't hit a red light. Meanwhile, the entire trip depends on you leaving the driveway. Selective excellence is the move. Before you start anything, decide what quality level is actually needed. Some things deserve your highest craft. Most things don't. An email to a coworker needs to be clear, not literary. Your living room on a Tuesday needs to be comfortable, not magazine ready. Your flagship project? That's where you lavish your best. When you let 80% of tasks be clear and done, you finally have time for the 20% where excellence makes a real difference. Now let's pull these ideas into a daily loop you can actually run. Every morning, take 2 minutes for effortless intentionality. Ask, what truly matters today? Not the 15 things your inbox wants. The 3 moves that, if completed, would make today a win even if nothing else happened. Write those 3, then choose the one that moves the ball the farthest and micro-simplify it into 5 to 10 tiny actions you can check off. Protect your decision energy by choosing one recurring choice to automate today. Prep lunch the night before. Lay out your clothes. Pre-build your meeting agenda. Throughout the day, when you catch yourself time traveling into future disasters, escort your attention back to the present. What's the real problem in the room, and what's the next 2-minute action? Then, when you pick up a task, decide the needed quality level before you start. Good enough gets you finished. Perfect is reserved for the few things that matter most. Let's add a mindset that makes everything lighter. Expectation detox. Most frustration comes from the gap between your script and reality. You planned a flawless meeting, someone joined late, your slides lagged. Now the whole thing feels ruined. Swap rigid expectation for curious observation. Instead of "this must go perfectly," try "I'm curious how this will unfold and what I'll learn." You're not lowering standards, you're loosening your grip on one specific outcome. Curiosity keeps you flexible and creative. It lets you surf the wave you're on, not the one you wrote in your head last night. Paired with that is non-resistance. Work with reality, not against it. Resistance says, "this shouldn't be happening." Acceptance says, "this is happening. What's my next move?" Think of quicksand. If you thrash, you sink. If you spread your weight and stay calm, you float. Acceptance isn't passive, it's efficient. It gets you out of emotional mud faster so you can make a good decision with the energy you still have. Practice the sentence, "given that this is happening, what's the next best step I can take in the next 10 minutes?" Then take it. Next up, opportunity filtering. Here's a rule that will save your calendar and your sanity. Hell yes or no. If your honest gut reaction to a commitment isn't absolutely, then it's a no. This isn't selfish, it's stewardship of your finite time. We say yes to pretty good opportunities and then wonder why there's no space for the great ones. Every yes costs you something you can't see yet. Protect your bandwidth for the things that light you up and align with your priorities. If it's not a clear yes, it's a kind no. While we're protecting bandwidth, let's talk about cognitive outsourcing, building a second mind. Your mind is for having ideas, not holding them. When you try to carry all your reminders in your head, it's like running 50 apps in the background. Everything bogs down. Offload to trusted systems. Put time-bound commitments on your calendar, always with alerts. Put actions in a task manager grouped by context. Home, errands, deep work, calls. Put ideas in a notes app you actually use with one daily inbox where you dump everything quickly and file it later. Keep reference checklists for recurring processes, travel packing, filming day setup, monthly finances. Do a 20-minute weekly review to clear inboxes, plan your top 3 for each day, and scan upcoming deadlines. The result is a quieter mind and more attention to aim at the things that matter. There's one more muscle that changes your experience of hard. Fear inoculation. The size of your life is directly related to the discomfort you're willing to tolerate. Most people try to engineer a life with 0 fear and 0 uncertainty, and end up with a life that's too small to be satisfying. You don't beat fear by waiting until it disappears. You beat it by doing small, safe, uncomfortable reps until your nervous system learns you can handle more. Make the slightly awkward phone call. Ask one thoughtful question in the meeting. Publish the short, imperfect post. Join the class where you know no one. Keep it safe. Keep it small. Keep it consistent. Your courage grows the way strength grows, rep by rep. Let's stitch all of this into an ordinary day so you can see how it actually feels. You wake up and your phone is already shouting. Before you open anything, you take 2 minutes with a note card or a sticky.
At the top, you write, "What truly matters today?" You list 3 things: finalize the client outline, film the 5-minute draft segment, and call your sister about Saturday. That's it. You finalize the client outline and break it down into tiny moves. Open last week's notes. Draft the headline sentence. List 3 problems the outline solves. Bullet the sections. Write 1 messy paragraph per section. Stop at 80% and request feedback. You look at breakfast and decide not to think about it. You're running the meal template. Outfit, capsule wardrobe. Decision energy preserved. You start work with the same daily ritual you always run. Timer on for 25 minutes. You tell yourself, "I'm not writing the perfect outline. I'm drafting a clear one. Good enough is good enough." You drift into a quick future fantasy about the client's reaction. Catch yourself, smile, and come back. The problem in the room is bulleting the sections. You do it. Check. Small win. Momentum. Another timer. Another tiny step. At the end of the second session, you have a draft at 80%. You hit send with a short note. Early draft, looking for structure feedback? Don't worry about wording yet. Selective excellence. Structure now, polish later. You move the project forward without waiting for courage to arrive in perfect packaging. Lunchtime is simple because it's pre-decided. In the afternoon, you hit a snack. The video lighting looks off. Old you spends 45 minutes fighting the light while muttering, "This shouldn't be happening." New you says, "This is happening. What's the next move?" You shut the blinds, switch to a lamp and a bounce card, and film the draft. Is it perfect? No. Does it meet the clear and useful level you set? Yes. Anti-perfectionism saves your afternoon. A message pings about a committee you should join. You feel the polite yes forming on autopilot. You pause, ask if it's a hell yes, and it isn't. You send it kind no. "Thanks for thinking of me. I'm heads down on 2 priorities this quarter and can't give this the attention it deserves." You protect your energy without burning a bridge. That single no keeps a future yes available for work you actually care about.
Later, your brain starts juggling 6 floating reminders. Buy a gift, book the dentist, email a PDF, prep a question for Friday, check the camera battery, send an address. Old you tries to hold them and forgets too. New you drops every single thing into your second brain within 60 seconds. Calendar, task list, notes. Out of the head, into the system. The relief you feel? That's your attention coming back online. At the end of the day, you run a 90-second shutdown. You mark the top 3 for tomorrow. You write 1 line about what worked. You highlight 1 fear rep you'll do tomorrow, a small call you've been avoiding. You close the laptop. You feel not perfect, not finished forever, but steady, lighter, easier. Multiply that day by 5, and the compounding effect kicks in. Micro steps stack into momentum. Decision defaults protect your focus. Present tense action replaces spirals. Selective excellence speeds up completion. Curiosity and non-resistance keep you agile in real life, not imaginary life. Hell yes or no keeps your calendar clean. The second brain holds your world so your mind can think. Fear reps expand your range. The net effect is not that life becomes flawless, it's that life becomes manageable, then fluid, then very often easy. Let's cut a few common objections before they cut you off. What if my life is genuinely complicated? Completely fair. Kids, care work, health stuff, unpredictable bosses, real constraints exist. The point isn't to pretend they don't. The point is to stop paying extra. Complexity is expensive. Don't tip it an extra 30% by trying to hold everything in your head, by rewriting the future 10 times in your imagination, or by demanding perfection from tasks that only need to be done. These principles reduce the hidden taxes on a complex life. Even a 20% reduction in friction changes the feel of your week. I've tried systems, I can't stick to them. Then your systems were too heavy for your real life. Build lighter ones. Your morning startup can be 60 seconds. Your weekly review can be 15 minutes while you drink coffee. Your task manager can have 5 categories, not 50. The best system is the one you actually run on your worst day. Start with something you can keep even when you're tired, then upgrade from there.
What if I'm naturally disorganized? You're not doomed, you just need more visible scaffolding. Keep physical checklists where you look anyway, on the fridge, near the light switch, on your desk. Create staging areas for tasks. A basket for outgoing mail, a hook by the door for the bag that needs to leave with you tomorrow, a tray labeled today. Make your environment do more of the remembering so your brain can do more of the deciding. How do I know where to be perfect and where to be good enough? Ask 2 questions. What's the consequence of good enough here? And where will excellence actually compound? A typo-free contract? High consequence. Your kitchen being Instagram ready on a Tuesday? Low consequence. The flagship video that sits at the top of your channel and wins subscribers for years? High compounding value. A throwaway clip for a story? Low. Pour your craft into the places where it echoes.
What if saying no makes people mad? Some will be disappointed. That's the price of a valuable yes. You can lower the cost with how you communicate, be kind, be clear, be early, but you cannot eliminate it. Remember the alternative, a calendar full of lukewarm commitments and a life that never quite feels like yours. You're not choosing between disappointing others or not, you're choosing who and when. Let your future self have a vote. What if I keep slipping back into old habits? You will. Everyone does. The goal isn't to become a robot. It's to become someone who returns faster. That's the real superpower. Not never drifting, drifting less far, for less time, and coming back with less drama. Every time you notice and return, you're training the path of least resistance to run through the life you actually want. Let's ground this in a 7-day starter plan you can begin today without rearranging your life. Day 1. Top 3. Write them, star 1, and micro-simplify it into 10 tiny actions. Do the smallest first. Don't wait for fire in your veins. Action creates it. Capture everything that pops up into your second brain. No exceptions. Day 2. Protect decision energy. Choose one recurring choice to automate. Breakfasts this week, outfits for Monday through Friday, or a fixed morning startup. Keep your present tense question on a sticky note. What's the real problem in the room? Ask it every hour. Day 3. Expectation detox. Pick a meeting or task you usually script in your head. Replace the script with curiosity. I wonder how this will unfold and what I'll learn. Notice how it changes your stress curve. Do one small fear rep. Send the email. Ask the question. Publish the imperfect draft. Day 4. Non-resistance. When something goes wrong, and it will, practice the sentence. This is happening. What's my next move? Take one 10-minute action that improves your position. Repeat as necessary. Day 5. Selective excellence. List 5 things on your plate. Circle one that truly deserves craft-level attention, and box one that will be clear and done. Give each exactly what it needs, not your default perfectionism. Day 6. Hell yes or no. Identify one maybe on your calendar and decline it kindly. Protect a 2-hour block for a hell yes project next week. Put it on the calendar now. Day 7. Weekly review light. 15 minutes. Clear your inboxes, brain dump lingering tasks, schedule the top 3 for each day next week, and set one fear rep for Monday. Close the loop with a tiny celebration. Your brain needs to associate this work with a reward, even if it's just a great cup of coffee and 2 minutes of music you love. None of this requires a personality transplant. It's not about grinding harder or pretending your life is simple. It's about removing unnecessary friction, pointing your existing effort at the right things, and letting small wins stack into something that feels like breathing again. You'll end more days with energy in the tank. You'll finish the projects that have been haunting you. You'll be less at war with the future because your hands are busy solving the present. And the most surprising part, ease becomes a habit. Not a lucky break, not a mood, not a week where the stars align, just the natural outcome of you choosing to steer. Tiny step by tiny step. Start with one principle. Micro-simplify one task. Automate one choice. Ask one present tense question. Say one kind no. Capture one nagging reminder. Take one small fear rep. Then keep going. You don't have to build the whole bridge today. You just have to lay the next plank in the direction you want to live.